Hey everyone. So I'm officially 28. Doesn't feel too special. Heck, I was having trouble thinking that I was 27. So my birthday actually went pretty well, I guess you could say. I got up, my parents took me out for breakfast, which is always pretty good. The only thing is I didn't get too much sleep, which is fun as usual. Went to Denny's, had pancakes, which is usually one of my favorites. Usually I like to have it around midnight though, instead of in the morning, but did the same thing. After that I got dropped off. I went and got 2 white flowers this time. I already had everything set. I knew where I was going. So the first place I went to is the cemetery that's about 15 minutes away, maybe less. I went to visit my friend Javier. And I went there and it turns out there were a lot of people at different sites. For some reason, I don't know, maybe it was just depending on what day it was, but people just went there to visit. I don't recall a lot of people there before from last year. So I went, and amazingly there's like a funeral or a burial. Bear with me, I'm just not thinking right today. It was taking place, and so there was like at least 30 people there, and I kept thinking to myself, what if they're standing on his grave? It's probably the worst thing that could happen. So I'm looking around, walking back and forth, and I couldn't find it. So after about 5 or 10 minutes, I turned around, went back down, and there's a office where you can ask to see where they're actually laid to rest. So I went ahead and they showed me where it was, and they wrote down the grave number and a couple of other things to help locate the grave. So I went back up, and amazingly enough I found it, and it was about maybe 20 feet away from where I was looking. So I think eventually I would have found it, but yeah. So this time visiting him was a little easier. I was more talkative. And I don't know if some people actually talk to those who are laid to rest, but yeah, I find it a little easier to do, to relieve the stress, and I guess in some ways kind of not communicate with them, but I don't know, just easier. So I went ahead and spoke with them. I tried to keep him up on everything that was going on in my life. Let him know that everyone still misses him, that we still think of him. And I put the white rose down, and I took some pictures. And I did something that I don't know if people have done this before, but I let him know that one of my other friends who passed away was going to visit today, so I couldn't stay for as long. But I let him know that if he sees him up there, to tell him I said hi. I know it's probably a little odd, but I think they're in the same place. So after that, I jumped on the 60 freeway and headed towards the other place. there was some traffic, but I knew I'd probably get there in time. So I had a full day ahead of me. I was probably on the freeway by 11, maybe 12 o'clock. So I'm driving, and that's the phone ringing. So I'm driving. I took for those of you who are right around Los Angeles, I took the 60 to the 5. Of course, there's always a little traffic there. And the exit, because I looked up where he was laid to rest, and it gave directions. And first thing I did is I got directions from the actual cemetery. And then I went ahead and Google mapped it and compared them. Made sure that it was telling me exactly where to go. And they both point to this one exit called San Fernando Boulevard. And so I'm driving, I'm looking, I'm like, it's not coming up. And I mentioned CA 126. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to keep an eye out for that too. The 5 goes to this thing called 14. And it's right around there. So I see the 14, I'm looking, and I don't see it. So I keep driving. And it says that it would take, in traffic, about 1 hour and 22 minutes. With no traffic, about 44 minutes. Well, I'm thinking, well, somewhere around an hour. So it turns out I got really, really far with no sign of this exit ever showing up. So I get off, I go and look at my Thomas guide, and it turns out I went 35 miles past where it was, where supposedly San Fernando Boulevard was. So I turn around, head back, driving for another 35 minutes. So basically it's an hour out and an hour altogether going the wrong way. And then I see San Fernando Boulevard coming up. I'm like, alright, good. I can't miss it this time. I'm looking, I'm like, no, there's nothing there. Next exit passes by, nothing there. Next exit, there's nothing there. They don't mention the San Fernando Boulevard exit at all. And I'm looking and I'm like, wait, Newhall. I'm like, well, after exiting San Fernando Boulevard, it says to turn left on Newhall. I'm like, well, I see Newhall exit. Let me take that one instead. I know it's probably not going to lead me in the right place. Turns out that's the right exit. Now, why would 2 places online say to look for an exit that does not exist? Well, that's just awesome. So I finally get to the right place, which was about 2 minutes from the exit of the freeway. And I pull in, and again, the people at this place were very helpful. They were very nice, generous. They even drove me up, or helped show me where exactly he was laid to rest. And as soon as I got there, so difficult talking. I mean, literally, I was just crying the entire time, talking to him. Just catching up on everything that was that took place, everything that, just catching him up on everything that was current, I guess. Telling him how much everyone missed him, his mom, his cousins, who amazingly I've been talking with, Jacqueline, who actually told me where he was laid to rest. So, yeah, how strange it's feeling with him not being here. Again, I haven't seen him in 14 years. Well, that's high school. I mean, it's 10 years because it's a high school reunion coming up. And that's 4 years because he didn't go to the same high school I did, so that's 14 altogether. But, yeah. Really difficult. And then, of course, rewinding back to my other friend, Javier, how I mentioned Javier to look for him. I went ahead and let Christopher know about Javier. Maybe they bumped into each other. Or they're in the same place. Maybe they know who they are. I know this logic or type of thinking probably doesn't make any sense. Or maybe it does, depending on your religion or what you actually believe, but yeah. So I stayed there for about 20 minutes, maybe 30. Just talking and letting the tears roll down. So, yeah. They even had this vase, I guess you can call it. It's kind of inverted. See, they have the plaque. The plaque that's flat that says where you'd like to rest, but they have this thing that's kind of upside down. You can pull it out, flip it, and it's like a vase where you can put the flowers in. And that's what the guy did before he left. So I actually got to put my rose in there. Also, I took some pictures and yeah. Anyway, I really didn't want to leave for some reason. I wanted to stay. But went ahead and got something to eat because there's a Carl's Jr. right there. I didn't care if it was Black Friday. I didn't really care or think. So I ate there, jumped back on the freeway and took off. And that's when I ran into about 2 hours and a half of traffic. Yeah, 2 hours and a half. So I went ahead and called my friend Rich, aka R Evil One. I can't do the voice right now, it just won't work. You can imagine it. Just picture your screen voice saying R Evil One. And then we started talking for just about 70% of the whole entire time I was stuck in traffic. Thanks for keeping me company. It was awesome. It was nice. And so I finally got home. And I worked on my my music for a little bit. Because I've been trying to finish my song that I've composed. I composed it or came up with it about 10, maybe 12 years ago. I never put it on paper though. So I've been trying to put it on paper, get it copywritten. It's a piano piece. It's probably going to be about 9 pages long. But, yeah. Throughout my birthday, on that day, March 27th, my friend Eddie called to wish me happy birthday. And so we were going to go and hang out. And so that's what I was waiting for. He was running late and I was stuck in traffic, so it worked out perfectly. So I decided to go to 3rd Street Promenade. I was really hoping to see my friend Robert there, because he likes to pop. Robert Moraine. It's a long story. But yeah, I was hoping to see him there, catch up, see how he was doing, but he wasn't performing that day. Or night, I should say. But it was still nonetheless fun. Walked around, we saw a lot of different entertaining people. This one guy all dressed in silver who couldn't really do the robot at all. And he's probably the worst person I've ever seen. Yeah. And then later on we ate at IHOP. And you know what? I'm a real simple guy when it comes to my birthday. It doesn't matter where I'm at or what's going on, but if I'm with my friends and having a good time, That's all that matters. And I definitely had a great time. So, yeah, I spent the rest of the night with my friend Eddie and Julie. And yeah, it was fun. We caught up. We just kept talking about old times and having a lot of laughs. Again, I should be more enthusiastic about this, but I'm not, because of course I visit two of my friends, and it's really odd to put it like that. You know, you get such a sad mood, but during that time when I was with them, I was really, really happy. Diana. So yeah. Right now I'm a little stressed out anyway. But we'll get to that later. So yeah. So that day or night ended. And then came my birthday, which I was really nervous about. Because again, there's a lot of different people who are going to come to my party that my other friends have never met. Basically, I'm merging work, a friend from YouTube, another friend, and then my family, and then my godparents, all being mixed together. And I wasn't sure how that would work out. But everything kind of worked out fine. Tim, I guess couldn't make it, and one of my friends from work couldn't make it, but everyone else did, and it was pretty nice. For entertainment, we played the Wii, and I asked my friends to bring a game which I knew would be somewhat a lot of fun. So we played Boom Blocks, and I've played it before, and it is fun. It's kind of entertaining. Although some people say Mario Party would have been better. I'm not really a Mario Party fan, but yeah, that day was fun. I just wish I should have taken a lot of pictures. I should have. As for presents, I got some clothes and cologne, and Eddie and Julie, yes, the same people who went to Promenade with me, they got me a tie for work, which I think is really awesome. And then Volt, the movie, and seriously, I think those are probably the best gifts I could have gotten. Really. I've already seen the movie, right, like the second day after I got in. I popped it in and watched the whole thing from beginning to end, and it's pretty cool. And my brother, of course, has an IOU. He's going to, I don't know what he's getting me. He says it's coming, so I assume it's being shipped from somewhere. Yeah, I'll let you know what that is later on. My sister got me a poster of the X-Men, a lithograph, is that what it is? Where it's, the picture itself is kind of made out of a certain type of metal. I'd have to check it out and see, but I think it was lithograph, I think. But yeah. And that was my party. Being summed up very quickly, but yeah, that was my party. Here's a thing that I was thinking about. One of my friends brought it up, that there's different types of parties, and there's family parties, and then there's parties, I guess. I don't really know what you would call it. Where these family parties are where you have close family and a small amount of friends, where other parties are when you invite about 20 or 30 or 40 of your friends, and you play nothing but house music, and you have a little amount of family there, if no family at all. What do you call those parties? Real parties? someone could give me a small definition of these different types of parties, that would be much appreciated. That way, when next year comes around, then I could actually tell people what a party it actually is. But, yeah. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm breaking this down to 2 parts or 3 parts. Maybe 1 part. No, it won't be 1 part. Okay, I'm really not thinking right today. So there's this drama going on at work. And I hate being caught right in the middle of it. It's like regardless on what side you're on, you being there causes stress and drama. Mainly on me. And the thing is, I don't like drama. I like to avoid it at all cost. I don't like being stuck in the middle, where my actions affect everyone else. Again, this is what you would call the butterfly effect, or what you do call all these little ripples based on everyone else. Or if you do nothing at all, it would probably cause an effect as well. And I love making references to this movie, but sometimes I just don't like the stress or the drama it creates. Where sometimes I feel that if I didn't exist, none of this drama or stress would either. Everyone would get along fine without me. And if you haven't seen the butterfly effect, well, the director's cut, that's what happens. The character Evan takes himself out of the world, basically, by going, I wouldn't say back in time, but basically he concentrates on a photo or a memory that he has written down in his diary, and he's able to travel back to that memory and change it. I guess reappearing within the mindset while maintaining his memory from the present and going back to the past and changing things. So in this case, he was watching a film of himself, or I guess of his mom being pregnant, but of course he is inside the womb, so he takes himself out, like literally killing himself. And if you take yourself out, well, then you don't cause any ripple at all. You don't exist. And for him, by doing so, made everyone's lives better. So, yeah, I'm doing a comparison for that. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel so stressed out that I feel that'd be better if I did not exist. That there would be no arguments that would be based around me, where all the stress and drama and sometimes anger would just go away. Of course, it's probably silly to think, because if I'm not there, then I'm pretty sure all this other anger, drama, and all that would take place. There's always going to be someone who would take my place, regardless if I didn't exist. You'd be watching someone else on YouTube talking about these things, probably not the same personality or way or anything else of that matter, but someone else would probably take my place, nonetheless. Anyway, wow, I feel like this whole vlog has been nothing but depressing. I don't know why. I suppose this is where I do my shoutouts. I guess a shout out to all my regulars. When I say regulars, these are all the people I always mention. Guitar Hero 30, Spiffy Rich, Sarah Marie 20. These are people who either I don't give a shout out to their screen name, or if I do give a shout out, usually I say their actual name instead. Bell Jansen. If I can remember anyone else. I know Horrible One Saint Sailors. I know. Wow, look, 12:56 a.m. Almost gonna be 1 a.m. You know, one of these days I think I'm gonna just create a list. Just like credits. I'll have the list going up, up, up. And I'll name all who I want to give shoutouts to. Because there's so many people who I want to give shoutouts to, and I can never remember, or I'll say the same people over and over again. Who are totally awesome, by the way, but still. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this vlog has gone on long enough. So, I'll talk to you guys later.